Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Replay casting till the next game that we want to cast this up. So, DexN against Havoc. On Villa Fiore, we have DexN as USF. Starting with a Pioneer and Barracks. What is Havoc doing, my dear friend?
3 Pioneers. So, that's like the new Pathfinder spam now. We're seeing this from a lot of their players.
Yeah.
And then he's got the infantry company up, and I guess Terror Battle Group wasn't vetoed for him, so maybe we'll see the invisible MG42s. But I don't know if Villa Fiore is the map for that.
I don't know. I think you can play the invisible MG every map, but I'm not sure what got vetoed. So we are a little bit in the dark there. So sadly we can't upload every game to YouTube because we only upload the casts to stream. However, I generally try to cast as many games as possible. So once round 2 finishes the games, and it's not too late for me because I still have to do a small sponsored segment later for like half an hour, I will continue casting replays from the other rounds, so we might see other highlight sets as well. Obviously, Shark does not have to stick around for this forever. I have prepared some other casters before he gets scared that he has to stick around here till tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. I can't think of anything better to do with my weekend than to watch these guys play and offer my unsolicited advice constantly.
To be fair though, the games are fun to watch. Obviously, the meta is kind of settled now. We are like 1 month into the new patch. I think, like 1 month roughly. And
yes,
so people know what they should do to win. But now with the commander vetoes or battle group vetoes, it got a little bit shook up there. So it's interesting to see. And I have to admit, I didn't watch many 1v1s recently.
It's kind of funny, I think, with 1.90, you saw USF get away from rifleman heavy builds, and now I think they're kind of back. Rifles still offer USF a lot of versatility. I think the meta is going to continue to settle out. The tournaments will show quite a bit, but every now and then you see something new, or maybe like a little minor balance patch. Maybe something to kind of change the way like Brit sections work will totally flip the meta. But we will see. 3 MGs for Havoc and DexN going air support center.
They pushed us off a sector.
What?
I mean, air support center is a decent counter to a lot of machine guns with the recce kind of run across the map, the dive bomb. It's not as effective as a Stuka dive bomb, obviously, but it is really nice, and it's some free indirect fire that you can use to manage the threat.
It also got buffed, right? The last patch? Something got
I don't
changed
know.
there.
I think they changed in the air support center. They added an upgrade to the armor of the vehicles or the airplanes.
Ah.
This Jeep play is really, really good.
This Jeep is beating the shit out of those MGs. I think full MG spam might not be the trick without supporting units.
Yeah, for sure. Here we go.
Strafe
This
or
is
bomb?
a.
It's the bomb!
That's a bomb.
And gets the Pioneer on retreat.
It's so funny that it's like yellow flares for it. It still does plenty of damage. It probably merits orange flares.
Damn orange flares, man. You think, it's not that bad, right? And then the freaking
I thought like, oh, maybe it's a strafing run. Oh my gosh.
And then the yellow flare for the bomb. At first I was like, man, Relic did a smart job with adding different color-coded off-maps so you know how dangerous it is. But I kinda not true to their color there sometimes.
Yeah, although the Brit Recce Barrage definitely deserves orange flares now.
Yeah.
One of our munitions points is being neutralized.
Yeah, Havoc still hasn't locked in a battle group. He is going Luftwaffe Company and the 221. I think that 221 is a nice counter to the Jeep and the rifles. right? It's basically like a Jeep on steroids, a little bit more armor, and then the ability to upgun.
Victory point. We're losing it.
Oh, this MG42, why did it set up again?
Man, I like the Jeep edition there from Havoc, from DexN. The Jeep
Oh,
is
it's-
really giving him hell.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to deal with these
Sector's
MGs.
been overrun. It's theirs now.
And because Havoc doesn't have any grenadiers, he doesn't have a whole lot that he can use to really threaten it. I honestly think the biggest risk to the Jeep is the Panzerfaust.
Yeah, but for that you need grenadiers. So, Jaeger's on the way though. Jaeger number 1.
There it is. No, the biggest threat is not the Panzerfaust. It is a very, very well placed mine.
If you see 3
Well done from
pioneers,
Havoc.
you have to get
Yeah.
3 permanent. Oh, I think Havoc saw the mine coming down there on the VP.
Enemy activity near our munitions point.
Jaeger number 1 is out. DexN has a lot of ammo income, so he could spam those planes.
I think he's going to do that. And because he went heavy weapons and he's building a motor pool, my guess is we're going to see Greyhounds and Chaffies
Into
into the Pershing. Yep.
So we see the good old heavy tank Colin Meta make a comeback.
Yeah, Demon, to your point, I don't understand the 3 MGs without selecting a battle group either. These guys play each other a lot, so he might be trying to read into DexN's tendencies.
Yeah. Maybe Terra was vetoed by DexN?
A victory point is under enemy control now.
Maybe it was, but you would think if it was, it wouldn't be in Havoc's loadout.
Reports of enemy movement. Near our
Greyhound's in the
victory
queue.
point.
By the way, the Greyhound icon looks horrible.
I don't know why they changed it.
Because it was the Code 2 icon, and I was like, we can't have any Code 2 stuff in there. Meanwhile, all infantry was have the Code 2 icon.
The new the new Sherman icon looks like a Bradley fighting vehicle. It's kind of silly.
Yeah. No heal.
Havoc might lose these pioneers. No, he refused them just at the right time.
Now heal from both players. Minute 8 and no heal.
M8 Greyhound is deployed.
Oh, well, yeah, DexN's invested a bunch of his fuel. He needs another minute or so before he can afford it.
Yeah, and this
And then
Revenant might
Havoc-
be a goner because of this.
Oh, the DPS from the 221, and they're so low health.
Nope. Oh, it's nice retreat smoke there from the scouts.
That's smart. That's really, really smart play there using the smoke drop.
Pioneer might get picked off there from DexN. Not might, it will be picked off.
Yep. Support elements coming for Havoc. So probably he could go mechanized as a battle group and get Panthers in the late game. It seems a little silly because it's, 1,100 manpower and 200 fuel, but 2 Panthers are a decent counter to a single Pershing.
You need that though. Pershing needs so much damage. You can't rely on Shrek Jägers to counter it.
Assault half-tracks will lead our boys to the front.
Well, because of the speed, it can effectively kite the Jaegers too.
Weapons
Yeah.
in their vicinity.
I'm not even sure if double pattern will win, but what pattern would surely not win. Like, Pershing is such a strong tank. Probably the
Oh yeah,
strongest,
one Panther has no shot.
like, probably the strongest heavy tank that we got with this DLC, with those DLCs, or DLC battle
Yes.
groups.
Sector gone. We must take it back.
It really feels like USF needed it though for their late game. Less than 1v1s, but in team games, USF late, they feel like they don't have any great late game options. So giving them something besides the Easy 8 that moves fast and hits hard is a nice change.
Ever seen 4 Hellcats diving something?
Yeah, but you could say that about 4 anything.
Yeah, but
4
Hellcats
kinds
have
of
the
threes will
speed
do
to
the
do
same.
that,
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
and they're so popcap efficient.
Yeah. Another dive bomb coming in.
No, it's 2 bombs, so he upgraded it, I think. Let's check. Nope,
Well,
he did
it's
not.
still it takes so long to show up. Yeah, I feel like it's not worth doing the second plane because by the time the first plane shows up, your opponent's already dodged. The second plane is just now adding insult to
Injury.
not injury.
Not hitting.
The enemy holds all victory.
Unless you're playing coastals and need it to knock down a couple of bunkers.
Could they even destroy a bunker? Obviously, coastal meta is long gone.
Thank God.
That was so horrible. But nobody tried it back then, so I'm not sure if it would even work.
It was just so like it forces you into like really kind of like toxic play. Like it just results in lots of bunker spam and really cheesy things like human waves. It's not fun to play against, in my opinion, having been smashed by it on multiple occasions.
The boys will have grenades soon.
Yeah. So YouTube chat, I asked if we can tune up the audio. I did it. Or turn up a little bit. I did it. I hope it's louder now. Wirbelwind on the field, man. Wirbelwind will hit like a brick.
Defend
Especially
our
if you...
victory point.
Ah, there's an
We're
AT
losing
gun on the field, so not 0 AT. But still.
How he uses the AT gun is going to be really important when you only have one of them.
With Jerry's name on them.
Round's complete.
Sector lost.
Oh.
No contact.
Greyhound is on the hunt there.
A victory point is under attack. We must act.
Greyhound will do good damage on the flanks.
Yeah, and he upgraded the 50 cal for it as well as the skirts.
Victory point now under enemy control.
You see that tier 2 officers quarters veteran C hitting for the Jaegers and for the Wirbelwind as well.
Oh yeah.
Havoc's clawing back the map control here.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that even though he had a mediocre early game, or a bad early game, he really was able to crawl his way back into the game.
I mean, he's no slouch.
Nah.
Oh, what MG42, but the rifles are not gonna be able to chase, I don't think. The canister rounds.
Oh, he
actually-
gets the wipe!
He picks up the Jaeger squad.
And drops the Shrek.
Oh, give those engineers a Shrek. Engineers love Shreks.
I wouldn't even pick it up with the rifleman. Obviously not the best pickup, but denying that is the most important thing. Imagine having a Shrek Jäger with 2 Shreks.
It'd still be a better infantry squad than the riflemen.
True, true, true. But that would even be the case if they had if there was only one Shrek, or the rifleman had also no Shreks. So, but denying it is more important. And you can sprint with the. You have snare and sprint. So even though it's
The
still not
rifles?
good,
Yeah.
but there is some funny things you can do.
Enemy movement.
Oh man, the overlapping MG42s, these rifles immediately pinned.
Rifleman has to go home.
I'm just loving watching the medic calmly pick up a casualty and carry him back while the rest of the rifles just curled up, pinned next to him.
Yeah, he's glad he's not the co-1 medic where they could be shot.
Just minor war crimes.
As long as they're unarmed, yeah.
Commander. The enemy
Keep in mind,
holds all victory
guys,
points.
it's okay shooting medics as long as they are armed, and it's not a war crime. That's literally the definition of it.
I know some medics that would take that a little personally.
I know, but that's how it works.
Havoc still not choosing a battle group.
Nice mine coming down there on the broken wall. Map hack 2-1, by the way. And in one
That-
it will probably cover the whole map.
By request.
Yeah, and that's really good for all of those MGs. right? Because it allows them to set up rather than just attack move across the map. And when they're set up, they get that almost instant suppression and then one long burst pin on the rifles. You can really take back a lot of map control.
Yeah. Jägers are slowly multiplying, but probably not fast enough.
I mean, the Greyhound, DexN has to keep it very active because those Jaegers can constantly threaten it. You know, he went air support center, so there's no... The improvised armor from the mechanized support center is a great counter to the Jaeger Shreks because it directly reduces their damage.
25%, right?
He doesn't have access to that. Yeah, I think it's 25%.
And you get more armor, if I recall it correctly, so it's a double buff against Shrek Jaegers.
I agree with you, Aziligath. I think if DexN went for BARs, that just give him a little bit of extra punch. A second mortar, though.
Yeah, USF mortar's amazing, so that's fine. But yeah, bars are definitely needed. And since DexN is also stalling into the Pershing, he does not need to feel for something else. And map power-wise, his economy is looking decent. Yeah, obviously he has no advanced logistics.
Territory lost.
But
Oh,
still.
these poor scouts. Oh, double AT gun smashes the 221. And the scouts get away. And actually now the Wirbelwind takes a couple of 57 mil rounds for its trouble.
Buzzsaw's got us in its fucking sights!
But Aussie, then it wouldn't have been true call-in meta style if you take for tier 4 because you're so ahead that you can afford it. Fair enough.
Style
10 points are
useless.
useless. True. But I think that's the thing, right? Because it's a tournament, you always play super cautious, super safe, and therefore sometimes you do not the most optimal things.
Yeah, it's kind of funny like that. This game, there are a lot of games that could be decided by, you know, well-timed base inspection, but you just don't have that info as the player.
That is also the problem. Like, we have to all see an eye. We know everything. Pershing is 11 CP, right?
10.
10.
10 on top.
So 4 more CP is needed. Taking up would be the smarter thing. He has decent field control, he has stable field control more importantly. So he could get on the tank.
If he'd gone infantry support center, I would have said, you know, go advanced logistics or survivability to help your rifles, you know, scale up while you wait for the Persian to hit. But yeah, I don't think tier 4 would have been as big of a risk as maybe DexN feels like it is at this point.
Double Mortarman beating up those triple MG build order. Love to see it.
It's a big manpower investment, but if you can make it work, if you can micro the mortars well, it goes really, like, do a lot of damage, especially the Jaegers who like to fight from cover.
And here we go. Doctrine picked by Havoc.
Mechanized.
Mechanized.
We have a large amount of command
This Stug D Collin's really nice. You know, as those rifles start to scale, a Stug D with Stoss Troopin is a good counter. The problem there is just it would be very late in the game right now for the first one of those, especially with the Pershing really only a couple of CPs away.
We're getting upgraded recon flights by DexN. I also want to point out that even though DexN went for the Pershing doctrine, so which basically means better MGs, better half-tracks, we see none of those.
Yeah, I actually don't think it's a bad choice to spend the 1 CP on unlocking the 50 cal machine gun, especially when you're dealing with a lot of Jaegers.
Yeah.
The 50 cal, it suppresses so quickly, it actually does what you need, USF MGs need to be able to do, which is stop the Jaeger blobs from ruining your game.
True. It's just that the whole addition of this battle groups kind of feels pointless in the current state of affairs. Because if you play optimal with USF, you don't want to use those things. Half-tracks maybe, but even though nothing of the half-track buffs are relevant for you, right?
The enemy is stealing our munitions point.
Zilliath is having a stroke over here.
Of course.
Another rifle.
We have riflemen taking the field.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Maybe a fuel cache or munitions cache.
Yeah, man, get fuel cache so you can make even more fuel that you don't use.
Even get even more fuel that you don't spend.
We have to stick D on the field.
300 points. Confirmed.
And I think that might be it here. I feel like Havoc's gonna overinvest in anti-infantry, and then the Pershing's gonna hit the field.
Yeah,
And it's gonna
Havoc
feel really
will just
bad.
fold that
Our
over.
sectors is now in enemy hands.
And those Whirlwinds beating up that reconnaissance flight.
By the way, did you know that the deck Stück D is better because it gets 40 more armor at that 2? Meanwhile, the Verbot Stück D does not get it.
Well, plus you get all the armory upgrades.
Yeah, and plus all the armory upgrades. And at that 3 you get even more HP.
The munitions point is being attacked.
That little AT gun wall that DexN had is doing a good job keeping the Warbles from being able to push.
I'm a little bit scared what will happen to Havoc once the Pershing hits. Because Shreks are decent against medium tanks, but against those heavy hitting AoE tanks like the Pershing, might be not comfortable to play with them. Maybe. Well, he's not that far off from Panthers, right?
Enemy
Colin?
movement near a victory
No,
point.
one more CP, and he can do the Panther call in. Oh, canister rounds. DexN gonna chase down these Jaegers here.
Wilbur coming in to save the day.
The enemy have taken territory from us.
Hits the mine though.
But there's nothing there to clean that up, especially with the Stas trooping on the flank.
The Strobe Prippen have the 1 HP, so if someone sneezes at them, they collapse.
Damage reduction will fix it.
They lost their damage reduction, right? They just got
No.
more HP. Or did they change
No,
it
they
again?
No, they still have a damage reduction.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting dive bomb. I think maybe he expected the Jaegers to retreat.
I thought he thrown it on the MG because there was an MG retreating.
Oh, nice pickup on the Flak Panzer.
Where the hell did they come from?
The other one is engine critted. The AT guns are moving up.
Yeah,
They're
but
both at vet 1.
by the way, we have side skirts. And look at the Stück D with side skirts.
Crowds are
Makes it
pushing
actually
back.
more sexy. And
We're
double
down
AT gun
250.
bones.
Yeah,
No.
the AT guns have focus sight available to them. It's a little bit difficult to use though because you have to set up the AT gun and then set focus sight into action.
No, you
Greyhound-
don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, you don't?
If you activate it, it's activated. So if you click it, you activate it. If you set up, it's still, or pack up, it's still activated but not applied. Then you set up again, and then it's applied again.
Gotcha.
Taking losses.
So they reduced the micro text there. Strafe is
Oh, the
incoming.
dive bomb. Oh, strafe. And with their
Nothing.
vet 1, somehow they still dodge it, even with the... And wow, the Whirlwind immediately shot down that strafe. That's the other problem with it.
That's strafe, man.
Yeah, that's the other problem with their support center is when, you know, the Whirlwind, which is really on here to deal with infantry, can just shoot down the strafe before it reaches the target.
Heavy
You know what's even worse?
tanks are
Shut
available
down
What's that?
planes,
for
give
the enemy
veterancy.
We're taking
So you get faster vet 3 on your
trail.
Verbot.
Victory point is under attack. We must act.
Pershing's available.
No manpower
Enemy
though.
has 300 points remaining.
Yeah. Also, the Panther call-in is available for Havoc. We could see basically both tanks hit the field right around the same time.
Taking our victory point.
Oh boy. We will see the battle of the Clone Cathedral. But everyone knows how it ended for the Panther. With this famous picture. I think it was knocked out by a Pershing, but I'm not 100% certain. Might have been a Sherman as well.
Commander, we've lost a sector.
I'll admit I don't know that story.
No! Oh man, basically it's like one of the most famous World War II pictures, where a Panther is standing in front of the bombed out Cologne Cathedral, and it kind of turned into a photo box
One of our munitions points.
where
Neutralized.
US soldiers did photo shooting, and that's why it probably became so well known.
Okay.
And the leading up story is that the Panther was stationed there on the plaza before the Cologne Cathedral, and I think it knocked out 1 or 2 Shermans, and then it got knocked out. And then, because of so many photos, where that's probably the most known knocked out Panther in the war, and
Gotcha.
probably also the most researched due to that reason. All right, Dex is storing enough fuel for the next game. So
Yeah.
we can take it to there as well. Still in-game audio too low? Damn it. That should be louder though. Let's see.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Yeah, DexN really needs this Pershing to hit. He is slowly getting bullied off the field across the board by Havoc.
Hey, he's
That's Doug
saving
D.
manpower, right? That's why he's also...
Yeah. Yeah. But Havoc's got the triple cap on here, or
Points remaining on the
was
front
about
line.
to, if not for these rifles.
We've lost control
Pershing
of the
is
sector.
680, right? Or 700. I still have code 2 numbers in my head.
It's 700 and 180, I think.
Oh,
Territory
Scout hit
isolated.
the mine and just
Oh.
evaporated.
Oh no.
Well, 3 Scout even.
Yeah, it's 700 manpower, 180. Should be on the field here shortly.
Panther hits the field.
Green light to reinforce
And
squads.
Pershing.
Here we go. DexN restarted reinforcing. The battle of the Pershing against Panther, man. Amazing.
Well, Havoc is
Nah, that's
just
not
really rolling over DexN. Look at the map control.
Pershing will not recover unless DexN throws down the Pershing down the barrel.
Recon away notice.
No snare option though. But double AT gun
with
saves
it-
the day.
Yeah, AT guns in support. Now he just needs to find a way to keep these Jaegers at bay.
You need Havoc needs to find a way to at least veterancy reset on those AT guns. Once they hit veterancy 3, they're so obnoxious to deal with.
Oh man, look at the KD as well. Havoc has really flipped this in his favor. Wild miss shot from the Pershing knocks out the truck but doesn't touch the Jaegers. Oh man, those double mortars. That's a dead MG42.
Pershing gets a beating. Only 1 repair squad, but it has veterancy 2. So it's
Well,
something.
and this is the downside. Wow, the Panthers just bouncing all those 57 mil shots. The downside to not building tier 4 for Havoc is he can't get the tier 4 veterancy for the Panther. And when the Panther's at vet 1, the mark target ability that it gets is really, really powerful against something like a Pershing.
Yeah, but so I think veterancy 5 against the Pershing shouldn't be too hard for the Panther.
No, it should get it. It just doesn't start with it.
I think Havoc will get the second Panther and then he's set.
Yeah.
But he can't, he's pop capped.
Oh, those 3 MGs working against him again. The triple vet Greyhound. Oh no. Wirbelwind finds it.
Nope.
I say some awkward pathing there for a minute.
Yeah, AT gun standing in the way. So what would you go for Havoc? Mechanized Assault as a finisher on the right side tree, so you get the repair.
Oh yes,
Or off map.
definitely.
against
Because-
the AT guns.
The zeroing already, I think DexN is just too quick. Even with these mortars and these AT guns, I don't think you're gonna be able to catch them out of position.
High altitude recon.
Maybe you can throw zeroing already in like deep on the retreat path. But I really think the mechanized assault allows you to really push your advantage and potentially get that final hit in on the Pershing that you need to kill it.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's otherwise it's so fast. I think, you know, anytime the Pershing takes a lot of damage, it can normally get away. Plus, the mechanized assault will absolutely buff all the Stas and the Jaegers in support of the vehicles as well.
But
And that's really helpful.
Enemy movement,
Yeah,
you're
fair
on
enough. But
victory
how do
point.
you deal with the AT gun block? Because the infantry will never get close to them.
Saints Christ!
The Stas troopmen, I think.
Enemy control.
They have the durability and they have the DPS. He's doing another forward heal bunker.
Contact.
I thought
For
it's a red
Havoc.
bunker.
I thought it would be too, but it looks like it's building medical.
Yeah. Either misclick or he just doesn't want to retreat. To be fair, he gets double mortar, so the MGs can stay longer in the field.
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
The Greyhound chases these Stas troopmen down. Oh man. If the Greyhound kills the Stas troopmen, that is
Panthers
gonna be
coming
huge. And
over. And
I think he's
can't enter the
willing
bunker
to
because
throw it
it's
away.
upgraded. He needs to hide. Did he just? Nah, must have. It looked like he bounced on the Greyhound. But that must have.
Oh, he just whiffed. The Greyhound's gonna get away, which is nuts. Oh, those Pioneers caught trying to lay a mine. The Pershing wipes them out.
But the middle collapsed in the meantime because the Panther left. Does the ground get health with veterancy free? Yes, veterancy free
Are-
health saved the day.
DexN, you need build tier 4, please.
But he's pop capped, so it does not matter. He could
I mean,
build
he
it, but
could
it
get a
does-
Sherman or a Hellcat out.
Nah,
I think
I think if you reinforce all his squads, he's at like over 90 pop cap.
you're probably right.
We have command points that need allocating.
He's building an MG. So I'm sure we'll see a 50 cal here.
Weapon teams are being
He had to
drilled
back
with rapid
tap for the
reposition
MG,
training
right?
as
Because he never had tier 2 from the beginning.
Yeah, but fuel's not really a problem for him right now. And he's gone rapid reposition. And he's also the plus 52 munis for DexN. When he unlocks the Black Dragon artillery,
Heavy machine gun has been requisitioned.
that on this retreat point up here, that could be brutal.
42 in range!
By the way, chat points out that Pershing Dog also buffs support AT guns, not only MGs. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, if you go with the bolster or the gallant stand, I suppose, yeah, the rapid reposition also helps the AT guns.
The sector's been overrun. It's theirs now.
Pershing gets a heavy beating from the Panther.
Oh, he needs to get it out of there. This is
That's
potentially really dangerous.
Oh, AT guns.
Panther goes in for the kill.
Ostwin should commit. Ostwin should commit. He gets the AT guns and the
Coming
window of
through, the
opportunity
enemy's
to
down
get the weapons
200
gone.
points.
Yeah, and no.
Oh, Panther will die.
Oh no!
Commander, we've lost a sector.
Panther's brewed up.
We got a Panther tank.
That's a
Captured a
shame.
victory point.
And all because he didn't have the munis for that mechanized assault. I think that would have been, if he'd been able to pop that, the Panther would have enough to push the Pershing and avoid getting knocked out.
That was really. But the double MGs though, doing something.
Oh, the 50 cal on the flank. I do love the way the 50 cal sounds.
Really, it's so funny. I heard some people complain, man. It sounds so awful that others say it sounds so good. I like how
Oh,
nobody.
it's because
I can agree.
it sounds just like it does in real life.
High altitude recon, ready for mission.
That can't
don't
be
know,
reinforced because no tier 4.
No tier 4, and I don't think P4s are the answer here.
Nah,
I think
P4s get beaten up by the Pershing.
the real life sound sucks. They should change it.
A victory point is under attack. We must act.
Oh, the Black Dragon. I love the Black Dragon artillery. It hits so hard.
Victory point now under
And
enemy
I think it's responsive without feeling oppressive.
I only saw it once. I'm a V1 guy, you know.
I'm sure. There it is, right on the retreat path of all those infantry units. Oh, this could be bad. If DexN can force a retreat through this.
Oh, you guys have a tough
The triple
retreat
vet
path.
Jaegers.
Run!
Bunker knocked out with just 2 hits. No wipes though.
To be fair though, it was an expensive offer to just wipe a bunker because both figures got away. You Panthers out is definitely needed.
Yeah, where are they? The AT guns are not super close. At least they have rapid reposition. Oh, he clears another MG42 team.
I wouldn't pick it up. I think double MG is more than enough, and use the freed up popcap to do something useful.
Oh man, this Greyhound could go down to the Whirlwind on the flank.
Man, it takes forever to kill a Greyhound with a Whirlwind.
Maybe if he had popped the Vet 1, shoot through the armor a little bit. He could go Martyrs.
I think Martyrs is a good addition, but against AT guns, Martyrs have struggled against AT guns. AT guns zone out. Martyrs
He really
pretty
just
well.
needs a walking Stuka.
Thank God for walking Stuka then.
So interestingly enough, Havoc went for the STG ambush package for the Stahlstruppen instead of the Vespa.
Yeah, and that's really
I
have
think-
bones him now.
Yeah, because that Vespa would have been really nice against those AT guns and those mortars. Havoc gets back in this by not losing his first Panther and by getting a second Panther, because then he can hard counter the Pershing, wherever it is, maybe pick up the Greyhound.
I think the AT guns are the key unit for DexN. Pershing deals with infantry. Panther would deal with the Pershing if there were no AT guns. And vet 3 AT guns. Let me check. Vet 3. 100. That does not matter. Damage 20% more damage reduction. So additionally
Oh my
to that
goodness.
15 HP. Damn, the Pershing got beaten up, but the Panther
But
died, and I
it
missed
smoked
it.
that Panther. And the
Because I was
Greyhound
scrambling.
canister rounds against these Stas.
Yeah, that's game. With the loss of the Panther, Havoc has not enough, or not sufficient AT.
Defend our victory point.
Yeah, he's just bleeding too much.
And the AT guns will zone out the verbal, so yeah.
Bingo fuel in. Heading back to base. They have taken our victory point.
The Pershing's got to be careful of those Jaegers, but with the rifles coming into support, I think
Not really.
he can risk it a little bit.
This might be.
If it wasn't, yeah, I mean, I think
Point has fallen into enemy
2
control.
Panthers down for Havoc. Those are huge losses.
And he's bleeding a lot of manpower, so replace. Even though he has to fuel for a new Panther tech, theoretically he has not the manpower for it, without
Yep.
giving up map presence whatsoever.
Oh man, the Greyhound on just a scrap of health as well.
And big thank you for the sub over here on Twitch. Big thank you, much appreciated. But yeah, game is over.
Yeah, the rapid reposition's really, really nice.
Research.
You ready to kick some ass, boys?
The Pershing, Vet 3. Oh, it's so fast.
Look
Look at
how
the turret
fast it
traverse
is
speed
traversing.
too. Yeah, meanwhile, those AT gun crews over there, they do their CrossFit. sprinting around, doing it against
Black leg day, man.
DexN just doing all of the ASC upgrades now.
Yeah,
Speed racer and friends.
Heavy cab on the job. Territory lost. Heavy cab.
Yeah, I guess Havoc can get another Panther out here in about 30 seconds, but
yeah, man.
40 minutes in. VP still dead even.
There's supremacy in
Yeah.
the house. We have more
Well, they were.
There were, but this won't be forever like this.
Yeah, Havoc's got a...
Panther has no
enemy down to
chance,
100.
man.
Oh, Stoss trooping gunned down by the rifles. Oh, 50 cal gets smoked by the Whirlwind. Oh, the HVAP round
Oh, special.
shocks the Whirlwind. That's gonna let the Persian close.
Little bit dancing around the house, but there's no follow-up. So
Yeah, but the Pershing's so fast. Oh, the rear armor hit with the extra damage.
Enemy down to 75 points and
Oh,
no
man,
that's
this-
not the pickle.
The Jaegers are done too. Whew.
Check the line. Capture point under
Vet
attack.
3 Pershing. And that, yeah. Yeah, I don't blame Havoc for surrendering there.
Yeah.
42 minutes in.
Was well played by DexN, but also by Havoc.
I mean, excellent play from both sides. I was really impressed with Havoc's ability to work his way back in and retake so much of the map.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2 between DexN and Havoc. After the amazing game number 1,
For duty.
where sadly Mr. Panther was not able to carry the win home, will be DexN able to achieve the same with his USF play as Wehrmacht, or will he perish to Havoc? What is Havoc doing, my dear friend?
So Havoc's got a barracks up, engineer in the queue, and a Jeep queuing out from the barracks. And I think probably because he did not veto the Terror Battle Group, he's potentially worried about those MG42s from DexN.
Camo MG42s are fun to
Grenadiers
play
assembled.
against. Especially as USF, because you have so many camo reveal options.
I think the Jeep is probably the best of the options because the scouts, you can go multiple scouts with flares, but the cooldown on the flares is pretty long and the MG can just kind of pack up and move on you. So I see a lot of players now using the Jeep because of its ability to quickly get on the flank of the MG, burn down a couple of models, and it still gets the camouflage detection benefits of being a detector unit.
Yeah, and if you can keep it in late game alive, you can get the captain upgrade. I'm not sure how common it is in 1v1, but in 2v2 you see it often. The backpack is really, really useful.
Yeah, there's a ton of value there. Neither player locking in a battle group just yet. And actually, those Pioneers did a ton of damage to that Jeep.
Pioneers do so much damage against the Jeep. I'm surprised every damn time.
Yeah, because against such a large target for them, accuracy is not really an issue. But fortunately, Havoc's already got his engineers on the case. The Jeep will be back up to full health very, very shortly. Also worth noting, the engineers, while repairing, can still capture.
Yeah.
They just don't. They're not able to capture while constructing.
No, be honest. Do you still do this thing? You give a capping order with building sandbags, and then you are surprised why the point is not getting capped?
I don't, but I was never a big. I didn't do a lot of construction while capping anyway, so it wasn't really a nerf to my gameplay style at all.
I can relate. I was one of the players also got affected by this change because I never built while capping.
I kind of feel like it was a little bit of a nerf to Wehrmacht because
Grenadiers assembled.
you know all of their early game units had the ability to construct field defenses and mines. Whereas for USF, they're reliant on the scout. The scout already can't construct, so there's no real change for USF player. But I feel like players at 1v1 have adapted, and so it doesn't feel oppressive or over the top against Wehrmacht.
We have lost control of
Indeed.
a victory point.
Oh,
Look,
Wow.
I found someone in chat who still does it. Oh, flamer proc from Havoc.
that's a big retreat there from DexN. Now we see the MG42 coming.
The enemy has cut us off. We have territory out of supply.
I hope you like your Germans medium rare.
I'm more of a rare guy myself.
Oh, really? Nah.
Territory
Medium
sector
rare.
lost.
Well, it's funny because here in the States, unless you're at a really good restaurant, if you say medium rare, you'll get medium because they think you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
But then when you go to Europe and they'll actually give you what you ask for, you have to be careful.
Yeah, but
If you ask for a rare steak, you will get a rare steak.
to be fair though, at least in Germany, steak culture isn't that big. So unless you some decent quality restaurant, you might even get well done. But steaks aren't really a thing.
Sector
So.
now under enemy control.
But yeah, if you go to a dedicated steak place, they assume you know your stuff.
Yeah, as they should.
Take his position.
Now the disadvantage of the flamer upgrade comes into the play. No sweeper, so only sweeping by foot. More mines going off. Nicely recognized there by DexN, punting down so many
Sector
mines
lost.
after he saw the flamer. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
it delays the Shrek upgrade.
Dropping like flies here.
It does, but other than the Shreks, you know, the Wehrmacht doesn't really have that many other munition sinks, so you can be pretty aggressive with mines early.
Yeah.
Especially the other thing, if you're hoping to catch that
Enemy
Jeep
forces
out of
capture the
position,
victory point.
and Mine Strike's a good way to deal with it without having to try to hunt it down.
Yeah, mines are the best way to deal with those terrorist ultralight vehicles who can camp on the flank that you never can catch. Looking at you, kitten and bike.
Well, so yeah, Havoc, his Jeep hit Vet 1, and so he upgraded to help it be able to capture.
I
That'll
rec-
give him some additional speed and flexibility. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I recently enjoyed the combat repair with the other veterans you won. So you can even out repair while you get snared. You get snared, you prop it, and the damage from the grenadier is not enough to kill you.
Scheiße, we've been spotted.
So that's a fun thing to do.
Enemy concentration. Fire.
But obviously in 1v1 capping speed is more important.
You can just create so much pressure, and you see it from Havoc here with this map control. And DexN's been doing a good job, but still struggling a little bit just to deal with being spread out by the USF players.
Bastards have secured our territory from us.
Not sure why Havoc is standing in the MG52 fire there with the Jeep, getting a lot of damage in for nothing.
Yeah, I think he wanted to force to basically keep the MG42 off of the scouts.
Look at the repairing! Don't tell me that's ballsy.
It's extremely ballsy. But it's not quite as bad the Krod shit's in, where it's like really stuck for 20 seconds while it's
All
repairing.
victory points.
Wehrmacht Pioneer nearly beating the rifleman there.
I know, I was gonna say they're trading so well, you wouldn't think it. But Havoc does have the triple cap on. And I don't think DexN has anything on the field to deal with the triple cap just
The
yet.
enemy has claimed our territory.
Oh man, those mines, the mine claims the captain.
Not Captain Dan!
They know we're here.
I think that's a bigger deal than most people think. The captain provides a lot, like a big buff to infantry in terms of the increased veterancy rate. Some of the late game abilities with, you know, the marked vehicle, the off-map mortar barrage is really nice. So losing the captain early,
It hurts.
yeah, it hurts. Oh, there's the Panzer Shrek. Oh no,
Jeep gets smoked.
just immediate.
Havoc is just lolling his way there.
Sectors are isolated. We have been
Great
cut off.
accuracy so
No.
far from the Shrek. My Shrek would have missed.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, when you get above 1800 elo, your units actually just fight harder. It's like a solid 10% RNG buff once you hit 1800 elo.
Ah, that's why they're so much better than me.
Yes, yeah, that's the only reason and nothing else skill related.
Greyhound is out, getting side skirts. And looks like he's
Yeah.
went for the shotgun. So for the canister shot.
Okay.
Because it's not decapping.
Yeah, I really like the Raider upgraded Vet 1 for the Greyhound. I know the canister can be really nasty, but with the Raider ability, you can hit cutoffs, and it's much chonkier
We
than the
have
Jeep
300 points
or some of the other units where it, you know, easily knocked out by a machine gun or
remaining.
Jaeger squad.
Territory cut off from some
Yeah.
time.
Captain Dan is getting rebuilt there, so we might see some mucking later on. Oh, he picked Raider. He just picked it later.
Nice. Oh, Gren's merged into the MG42.
Oh, the flame was doing so much damage and forcing DexN off, even though Havoc really
Commandant,
went into an unfavorable
Territory sector lost.
position with this engagement, and he still won.
Yeah, and it almost helped that the machine gun wasn't in cover, so it wasn't taking any bonus damage from that flamethrower. Oh, actually, the engineer's gotta be careful now. These Pyos right on top of it. Yeah, we're just gonna see a mass retreat from the center.
Do we have heal from Dex? Because against Flamer you kinda need heal. Because the HP damage is so big.
To full strength.
Yeah, he's got a couple of Gren squads on Vet 1,
Vehicles can now raid enemy territory and
so
capture
we can do some
resources.
impromptu repairs. Oh, DexN go and mechanize 8-rod. That is interesting.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Adrad is a nice addition though. But it will lose against the Greyhound. So he has to be careful and screen for it.
We found the fucking enemy.
Yeah, Havoc's gotten BARs, but no grenades, so there's nothing to snare this 8-rod. Oh, these
Pushing back.
rifles getting run down on
150
retreat.
points.
More
Greyhound
units
is-
coming out, but no snare. Greyhound's not in position. That's just going to create a ton of bleed.
Well, Adrad will put a lot of pressure there on the flanks. Havoc has to be careful. And keep in mind, even though the Greyhound counters the Adrad, it's only a soft counter, so unless Dex makes a big
Is
screw up
standing by
there,
for deployment.
he should be fine.
Yeah, and with the Shreks in support, the Greyhound's in more danger than it realizes.
Especially if the Greyhound decides to hit 2 shots into the wall instead of the Adrad.
Yep.
Territory point is ours, despite our best efforts, huh?
Still no heal man from DexN. He has veteran C1 though, so
Yeah, he had his Grens up top there doing some forward healing.
he did not tech it though, so no infantry officer quarters. Just
Havoc,
straight up.
Havoc has teched grenades now. So now the riflemen have the ability to snare. Havoc's also floating enough resources to be able to reliably throw those sticky bombs down.
Yes. But I don't
A
think the
squad of
sticky.
Jaeger has been
I'm still
requisitioned.
conflicted about the day tag. Obviously, you need the snare in the long run. But the enemy needs to make a big micron plunder then with an LV to lose it to the snare. Which means it's not like that it never happens on top level player, but still.
Yeah, it's more just like a little bit of extra protection against the 8-rod dive, I think.
Yeah, okay, that's a valid point.
Enemy fire! On us!
Engineer's doing so much damage to these Grens up top, but not dropping any models. Yeah, the flamethrower against units in the open, not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah. Keep in mind, kids, if you fight against the Flamer, always leave cover because Flamer do bonus damage against cover. In KO2, you would have fighted in red cover over green cover because there were no negative damage modifier from red cover of Flamers.
Victory point is under enemy
But
control.
those days are long gone. So second Shrek Jäger is out. I'm expecting officer quarters there next for tier 2. So 8-rad gets veteran C1 and the Jaegers. Veteran C1 really important on Jaeger.
Oh man, the scouts gonna get run down here by this 8-rod.
Victory point lost.
He might get snared. though.
Yeah, he is gonna get snared, but there's again nothing to follow it up.
Yeah,
The
because
Greyhound,
hit the bite.
yeah,
Schwerer Panzerspielwagen
a second 8-rod out. Oh, I wonder if we're gonna see DexN just snowball 8 rods to victory. Oh, Panzerschreck shot on the Greyhound just goes into the dirt. But the Greyhound can't dodge this. There's another shot coming. Oof.
You have 3 command points.
Wow, that was
It got
explosive.
sent off to space.
Yep.
Losing the
Havoc?
ground is a big loss.
Yeah.
Our territory is exposed. We must re-establish.
Yeah, he's now got nothing. And he's building a mortar.
Again,
He's got
1
nothing
MG
else against 1 MG.
and 2 8 rods. And they have like overextended there with the rifleman. Decapping the
Oh.
safe fuel.
He said Americans reached the moon in the 1940s. Yeah. Oh, another the second 8 rod on the retreat path. Those riflemen
And
are
he drops the
gone.
bar. Oh, if the Jaegers pick it up, it's like a catastrophe. I think the mortar
there's
was a
just-
big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing here to save Havoc's infantry from these 8 rods. They're just going to continue to bleed. Now a Chaffee coming out. Oh, Havoc was waiting for War Machine to get the cheaper Chaffee and the rapid production. Okay.
Yeah. But still, Jaegers are the backline.
Yeah, DexN just needs to keep that 8 rod moving.
Claimed our territory.
He lost 2 riflemen. He had 3 or 4 riflemen. I think 3.
He had 3, so he only lost 1.
But still. He has healed though, right? Yeah, so it's something.
Mm-hmm.
He might get 1 though. You crushed the wire! That's why the 8 is even slower!
Oh, plus the engine crit. Oh, wow, Chaffee whiffs a shot.
But no,
Oh.
the Jaegers are retreating.
What are the chances it misses? It misses again.
Enemy forces have captured.
Oh, but the Jaegers are on retreat. All right, Chaffee, 3rd shot, best shot.
And now he hits a mine and dies. I will laugh. I will laugh so hard. But there are no mines, right? I can't write this shit. Havoc is slightly bad. Shafi has a hard time hitting the
Yeah.
Hydrant.
Oh, man. DexN, my guess here is he's just waiting. Oh, no, another 8 rod. And then he's just going to wait for CPs for the call-in Panther.
Yeah.
He knows that easy 8s are on the menu here as well.
Yeah, it's the battle of the call-in tanks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mine's going down everywhere.
Yeah. DexN has the ammo for that.
Yeah.
And the like flanking routes for the Chaffee is also something smart to do.
No, it's a great counter to the Chaffee because if it hits a mine, the 8 rods could potentially clean it up, especially if they get on the rear armor.
And another wire got crushed.
Oh man, the 2. Oh, nice. The Chaffee
gets
finally
it.
hits
Yeah,
a long
but
range
he
shot.
gets-
It's on hold fire for just a minute. Helps it get away. I feel like Captain should go mark vehicle here to help ensure that we actually get the kill. On this 8 rod. Oh, Panther calling now available. DexN's about a minute away.
The manpower bleed from Oh,
Wow.
he gets the other 8 rod.
Wow, both. So 3 8 rods knocked out now by this Chaffee. Chaffee hits vet 3.
And look how fast it reverses, man. What do you get at vet 3? You get 80 more health and plus 33% speed and rotation rate. Not sure how important rotation is, but the speed and the health obviously is pretty nice to have.
And DexN meanwhile going for another 8 rod.
Interesting. So he feels like he needs anti-infantry power.
Yeah, but I mean, the pressure is working. He's got the triple cap back on. And so even though Havoc built himself a nice lead, that's going to whittle away in about 3 minutes.
If Havoc forces off the tracks, you could go on and hunt the Hatred again.
Yeah, there are 3 Grens on the field for DexN though, so I feel like he could just pretty consistently use the Grens to merge and heal the Jägerschrecks and keep them up front. Or do like Havoc did last game and put a healing bunker relatively close to the front line.
An Achtrad is standing by for deployment.
So, what should Dex do next? Obviously, he does not need it. Pet is needed at some point, but not right now. Because it has mediocre and defensive firepower.
He's going for another 8-rod.
Never mind. I never asked.
I would go for the Luftwaffe Company veterancy.
Yeah.
And then you got the ability to get a Panther out. I think my focus would be maybe another MG just to make sure that you can hold on to this triple cap. Right? Because just Havoc grabbing that 1 VP on the south side of the map is enough to keep, like, basically give him, you know, take that 2-minute even VP timer to 6 minutes. Oh man, that Vet 3 Chaffee, this is really dangerous.
Yeah, I think the Chaffee has backpack from all this carrying. That's the sole unit that keeps Havoc in the game, even though by a threat, but still. Havoc replacing the lost rifleman. He's getting closer to the EZ8. It's 8 CP if I recall correctly. So, still a little bit off, but not that far anymore. But he needs something against the tracks.
You are correct. It's 8 CP for the call-in.
The enemy has 300. Victory point is under enemy control.
I don't know. The EZ8 call-in is risky.
It's really expensive.
It's really expensive. You don't necessarily need the extra engineers, but it's also risky taking the time to wait to build a tank depot and then build another EZ8.
Nah, tank depot into EZ8, it's too slow. It will take too long. You can't do this.
Yeah, not at 18 fuel a minute. Oh man, Havoc cleans up a rifle squad and they dropped a BAR.
Oh, you should have picked it up with a Jaeger if possible. It's always like then they're getting into overdrive.
Yeah, and DexN is just really focused on trying to maintain the triple cap here. Oh, pop that smoke, DexN. Second Chaffee.
Rifleman gets
It hits. Oh man, the Vet 3 one gets killed by a Shrek. Oh, this is rough. And it builds so fast because of the rapid production. I didn't even realize he'd built a second one until the first one got blown up.
He died like a hero, man. He was a hero.
Yeah, the Strumming Bird. I don't. At this point, he's throwing the 8 rods away to maintain the VP pressure. But the tick rate, the triple cap is just brutal. You know, 1 minute VPs will be even.
Yeah.
And then 4 minutes in the game is over if he can hold on to it.
Our adversary is down.
And even this harassment on the fuel at this point is causing Havoc all kinds of trouble.
He does not have the units to be able to maintain the front line and cap on the side, right? Like, a single squad on the flanks forces such a big reaction.
Yeah. Wow, that airburst barrage.
Yeah,
Chipping
but
away
it will
at those
just get
Jaegers.
healed away, so
Yeah.
ammo down the drain, basically.
They are securing our capture point.
Yeah, I know Panther's available. Interesting, DexN also went for the Stas Troop and STG package rather than the Vespa.
I think Vesp is really a niche option at it's 1v1 because normally you don't see fixed artillery or
Yeah.
big artillery in the 1v1. Last game it made sense because DexN had double AT gun in a really like lockdown position. And in this game there is no AT gun threat, so he does not need it.
But I like it because, right, if Havoc is down on fuel, he's still getting the manpower income. He can always build AT guns, and you know he's got a motor pool. Even though you don't need it, I think the choice between unlocking the Vespa and unlocking the SCG package for the Stas Troopen, I think the Vespa makes more sense because now you have that optionality. I mean, he didn't do the Stug D call-in, so he doesn't have access, and he doesn't have tier 4, so he doesn't even have access to Stas Troopen. So I'm not 100%. Yeah.
It's only
I'm not entirely sure.
He only did it so
he
because it's cheaper CP-wise, right? So you can get faster to the finisher. But I'm not sure if it's desperately needed, the finisher there.
Yeah.
So Vespa is a better, nice to have option there than the
enemy has claimed our
no use choice by the STG upgrade.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so Panther joins the fray, as does an Easy 8. Ooh, Chaffee gets one of the 8 rods.
Yeah.
Easy 8 finds a Jaeger blob and immediately down to a little over half health.
Not sure if Easy 8 will be able to fight the Panther there without backing up.
Oh man, first shot bounces. That's why it's also interesting. Havoc went for the ISC. He hasn't used any of the ISC upgrades.
Yeah, Havoc calls it.
And yeah, he just calls it there.
He might have made the comeback if DexN throwed or did a major mistake, but that's unlikely, so understandable.
Well, yeah, and fatigue starts to play into it after a while as well.
Yeah.
You know, the first game is 40 minutes. This one was almost 30. It's a big ask to stay in that long.
We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.